Welcome back to the Balancing Act. I'm your host Renee, and today we're here with George. So today, firstly, I'm going to ask you, George, what would you bring? What would you bring if you have to survive a zombie tongue-tie apocalypse with 3 items that fit in a backpack? I'm losing my words today.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Probably a knife.
Okay.
Rope.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe like water filter tablets.
Okay. Oh, why those?
Well, rope is pretty self-explanatory. You can do a lot of things with rope.
Yeah.
Knife, very versatile. But water purifying tablets, like if there's a zombie apocalypse, like all knows if the water infrastructure is going to be intact in it, and you might not have bottled water because people will be hoarding.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're able to find a water source, get water purifying tablets.
Okay.
Clean, drinkable water.
Not everyone would think that. A water purifying tablets. I wouldn't have thought that. I would have thought something to protect myself, so a knife. I would just think of a knife. I wouldn't think of anything else after that. But I got you these cupcakes.
Oh,
chocolate.
Oh, my favourite.
Let's see.
That's nice. Thank you.
Everyone's done red velvet. Today we've had vanilla. So you guys are just breaking the normal stigma on cupcakes.
Well, red velvet is my favourite, but...
Oh yeah, I ran out of red food colouring, so I'm sorry. I did run out of red food colouring.
Oh, you baked them yourself?
Yeah, I bake cakes.
Oh, okay. I'm into cooking as well. Like,
Oh, is it? What do you like to cook?
They need anything, like, we call it... they need anything, like, if I see, like, a dish or cuisine that I like, first I learn it and then experiment from there.
What's your favourite country's cuisine?
Oh.
Like, what's your favourite? Okay, if you was to go in the kitchen right now and ask us, you cook for me, what cuisine from what country would you cook?
That's actually a good question. Probably Ghanaian cuisine.
Oh, you're Ghanaian?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Ghanaian. Oh. I love jollof rice. But jollof rice takes forever, man.
Touche.
I like jollof rice. Do you like... Wait, are you Ashanti? Are you Goa Fanti?
I'm mixed with two different other groups, but Ep7 because part of like the Akan family, and then the Gwans.
Okay.
We call it which. So I'm mixed with both.
I only know Ashanti, Goa Fanti. That's all I know. I should do better. I will start looking into it. But I like Wache. I like Amwamo.
Mm-hmm.
I like Kenke. I like Benko. So what would you cook? What Ghanaian dish would you cook me?
Ooh. Plantain with beans. I think that's
Okay. I thought he was going to say fufu. I was going to say, no, I like fufu in Ghana, but I don't like it over here. But plantain and beans, yeah. But which plantain, which green banana, green one or the yellow one?
Yellow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know the vibes.
What, boiled or fried?
Fried. How
do you like your plantain? Soft? Like soft and sweet, or just not properly ripe, that one?
Soft and sweet.
Okay, yeah, I love soft and sweet. So, okay, I would go there. But my go-to cuisine would be Chinese.
I was going to say that as well, but like, I think that's kind of stereotypical.
No, but I love it. Do you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I love salt and pepper prawns, egg fried rice.
Okay.
And sweet chili wings. Well, I know that's not Chinese, but I just have the wings, or salt chili wings, because I haven't found a good Chinese shop that satisfies my need. My old Chinese shop, they closed down because they wanted to retire.
Wait, where?
It's in Tottenham.
Oh, you're from North?
Yeah.
Oh, because a similar story happened in Croydon.
Okay.
And literally, this is a Chinese place in Croydon near Church Street. No, Church Street, innit? And everyone used to go there. They closed. I think they've relocated to Tooting now.
Oh, okay.
Tooting.
I haven't... The Chinese hasn't been the same, so, you know. But can you tell us what you do and what made you choose this career path?
Right, so career right now, I'm actually a data analyst apprentice. Mm-hmm. Before that, I used to be a scientist, funny enough. And yeah, just to answer the second part, the reason why I changed is, I think there's a couple of things. One, you can argue is by accident. Another part is that when I was looking at my career progression in science, I thought something's not adding up. And then likewise, salary expectations. But in short, how I even became a data analyst is that at university, I was supposed to do my dissertation in bioinformatics. I was supposed to do a dissertation, I was supposed to be lab-based. but COVID was happening at the time. Whole labs got locked off. And so as a result, I was forced to pivot my dissertation into a data analyst slash bioinformatics project.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was like a bit shocked, but then I got really comfortable, had my talk with my supervisor. He led me through the whole process. And it was actually his advice that said, George, you did really well in your dissertation. I suggest you either go into data analytics or software engineering. And that was in 2021. And there have been various times where I tried to like study by myself, but it was actually in 2023 that I actually started picking up courses. And then 2024 is when I made that leap of faith in regards to go into the realm of like data analytics. It wasn't easy, I'll tell you that.
So you graduated with a science degree?
Yes.
And then why didn't you do a grad scheme? Why did you just go into apprenticeship?
I think at the time, like I wanted to get like a grad scheme, but one of the things I realized is that like the employers obviously have a lot of candidates, right? And they throw a lot of like a lot of like nonsense at you. So, for example, you either have to do a coding assessment, which in the real world workplace, like most of the time you could be searched off on the internet, or just go give you some situation, task awareness, like that activity.
Mm-hmm.
And in a work environment, I know to conduct myself, but like when it's in like kind of high control settings, like it's just all artificial. Like you don't even know if what you're doing is actually right. Like some people are, like, you know, when you do like online assessments, you artificially like change answers in order to like fit quote unquote the company's culture or like like the ideals. Like, and I feel like it doesn't come off as like being authentic. And then with the apprenticeship, right? Like some people might see as a step back, but I think there's a lot to gain. Like one, you're learning and studying at the exact same time. And the employer purposely wanted an apprentice because they were willing to guide them through like the infrastructure of their business. And I could tell you firsthand that with my manager, right? Like just how she approaches things and in regards to like the support that she's willing to give me, reaffirms like, okay, are you sure about this? Like just double checking, because that's something that I never got when I was working as a scientist. And I think that change in dynamic combined with the fact that I work hybrid now, I come to the office like once a week.
Okay.
It's like a big switch up, and yeah, I like it. So I like it, and I think there's not necessarily a right one path in regards to like doing a grad scheme or apprenticeship, but like with my kind of situation at the time, right? I was just trying to find myself a job, to be honest.
Okay, so you just did so basically, essentially, sometimes it's just better to start at ground zero for you to get the information instead of just going for a graduate scheme.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, obviously, like, salaries are a bit touchy, but like, the salaries I was getting as a scientist from my last few jobs pretty much went down consistently down. And I thought, you know what? Let me just start from ground zero in a different career.
No, because that's just... Because I previously spoke about that. It's about salaries. Salaries in the UK does not match the job that you're doing.
Oh, this actually reminds me of a really interesting story. Pretty much when I was job hunting and I was looking for a position, I had a recruiter call me and they asked me, we have this role for £35,000 for 5 years experience. Keep that in mind, right? I had like around 3 years of work as a scientist, right? Now, for a junior data analyst, they're around £27,000 to £30,000, and that's a junior, so that's like less than 2 years. You mean to tell me I should slave away at my job
for 5 years
to get £35,000?
And it's a set £35,000, and it's just not an increase.
I mean, the increases they're kind of pitiful, to be honest, in the scientific sector. I'll be honest with you. I feel like the UK needs to do better because they're losing. Yes.
They need people in those areas, but what's for example, I don't know if you saw, but remember when there was a cyber attack?
Oh yeah.
And the head of cyber security was like,
I think it was like 60.
60.
I know people in our age group who are like managers or like assistant managers for like companies that they were at, like, and they're earning more than that.
60K. And you know what? I think people look at salaries as the salary, but they don't look at the take-home deduction.
Oh, yes.
Because I remember I looked at 100k salary.
Oh, you're going to be horrified.
It's 50k. Like, your take-home is like 50k. It's like half of it. They take half of it into that. No, but what I did was I did my student finance plan. I've got like a salary take-home calculator that I use.
Yeah.
So then I put my student finance plan in and I just put 100k, just 100k on the dot. No, not 105k, just 100k on the dot. And obviously it's subject to like this financial year if it changes the taxing. And when I saw it, I was like, huh? Like, that's literally half of my salary on tax. So it's like the UK needs to do better with their salaries.
I think it needs to be simplified. Like, I think personally a flat tax, but I'm sure there's someone who probably argues that there's a different model that we should use. But honestly, with the taxes that we have and the cost of living that we're having right now, it's getting better out of hand. Like,
I would think 35k would be enough because I'm at home. But 35k and you're living at home, you mostly got a family support. Even if you don't have a family support, you can't even support yourself on 35k alone.
In London, like, not even forget in London, like just
Anywhere.
in general.
Travel costs, bills will take the money. It's really funny. It's so funny and sad at the same time. Because you go to uni, you do your degree, and you don't realise it till it's late, in a sense, whereby of how much you'll be earning. You don't look at salary when you do a degree. I'm sure when you started off your degree, you never looked at your salary at the end of the degree until you got to the end of the degree. Because you might have done something different. And, okay. Do you have any tips on securing an apprenticeship and what should candidates look for in an apprenticeship?
Well, this is going to be the more interesting part. So in terms of like tips, I guess you could say, just in regards to like applying for jobs, I think you have to be quite persistent and quite frequent with it. And I think that I would advise most people who will not do is do not do quick applies. Don't do them.
I did them.
Like if you look through, there's a TikTok on my tech and gym page, right? And it just shows you how many jobs I applied for. Like, you want to guess how many jobs I applied for from February of 2024 to December 2024.
Okay, is it a lot or is it less?
No, guess a number.
100?
No.
400?
No.
600?
No.
More?
Yes.
How many did you apply for?
695.
What? Wait. And you did the tests to it, or it's just the first stage of just the application?
Literally just send my application. And I got rejected. I rejected or ghosted.
695. Where did you find the time? Because some of these job applications be asking you, like, you'll come to rob them or some.
I'll be honest with you. Well, at the time I had a lot of time because I got fired from my job as a scientist. Okay. There's no hard feelings, but like that job wasn't for me. So I had plenty of time.
So you did 695 applications.
And I was damn persistent. Like, even when I went to holiday in Ghana last year, I bought my laptop with the limited.
Wasn't you not scared that they were gonna take it out of your suitcase or get damaged?
Oh no!
The way they throw the suitcase in left.
Carry on.
Oh, you carry. Okay, you're smart. But even that, what if they stopped you and actually no, Ghana's not like that, so they won't take it. So they're not like that. But that's not the point. When they have is it blackout, light out? What do they call it? When they have power cut?
Yeah, power cut. Yeah.
You say, what did your parents say when you did?
I told them that, look, I need to do this, like, and the laptop came in handy anyway because I was there for like a family occasion.
Yeah.
But anytime I had, like, with you have to pay and go internet, right?
Oh my gosh, no. Oh gosh.
And so I used my mobile data to connect to my laptop. Like, how much
was your phone bill?
Oh no, I got eSIM.
Okay.
eSIM.
But still, how much did you pay?
I'll be honest with you. For the entire trip, I stayed for like a month. Granted, I didn't do. Granted, we didn't explore too much. But if I did, probably close to like 300. But because I stayed home most of the time, right, in Ghana, probably close to 100.
So, do you regret what you did?
In regards to what?
All the applications that you did, all the time you dedicated to get rejected. Do you regret it, or do you see it as a learning curve that you learnt something and you just applied it to yourself each time?
I think it was more like a learning curve because this is not like the first time that I've been applying for jobs on mass, but the difference is that I didn't have a job. So I knew that, okay, roughly time frame wise, because the last job I had, I think my second job, right, and the third job, I think it took me like around 9 months. 9 months. So I was just applying. And granted, that was in science, right? So it's kind of a sector. But I knew it was like a learning curve. And obviously, like when you apply for jobs en masse and you hear nothing back, or you get ghosted, or they don't give you very bad feedback, it can be a bit disheartening. But I don't know. I think for me, it's just that I had a goal and I'm willing to achieve it at all aims. And maybe because I'm stubborn, or maybe because like I'm not willing to take no for an answer, but like I think that perseverance, I think, is evidence of something. And people who talk to me about my experience, like they all have the same reaction, like I would have given up, like after 100. And if there's one thing that I want to convey to people is that if you have like a goal or vision, like don't give up, please.
Keep going.
even though it's kind of horrible.
I can't believe it. So I don't even think I've done that many applications, but kudos to you.
I mean, in fairness, there was most of them were like quick apply, which is why I suggest people don't do quick applies, because it just inflate the numbers.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay, so what are the pros and cons of your role, do you think?
Ooh, I think I already highlighted a bit earlier. So the pros, I get to work from home, hybrid living. Only come in the office once a week. Very supportive manager. I'm actually doing something that I'm passionate about. I think it just worked. And then obviously because of that, in terms of like the company that I work with right now, like company culture is very friendly, very supportive, very encouraging. So there's that to play with. In terms of cons, when the data that you're trying to get, or like some of the tools that you're working with doesn't really work as intended. Yeah. Bottlenecks. Maybe some stakeholders, because some stakeholders, like, they really have ambitious goals, and we have to like manage their expectations.
Yeah. But you have to do it in a corporate way. Yeah. You can't do it as like when you talk to one of your friends, you'd be like, "This ain't gonna work, so don't do it." You gotta say it. Well, maybe try it this way. This way can't fit the view that you gotta be corporate jargony. So, yeah, that is a really hard one. Do you find it different? Did you find it hard, like adapting to like how you approach clients or how you approach certain situations? Because how you would normally approach it if it was like to a friend or someone that you meet on the street would be different. Do you find it hard to kind of like stand your ground, but stand your ground in a corporate way?
I guess you could say like yes. Like I had to, I've been doing like graphic design like on and off, like as a freelancer, and so I had clients who were not the best at communicating, or they were having some very ambitious ideas, and so that's something that I was able to take on into the current role I have right now in regards to like manage expectations, like giving documentation in regards to like this is how we're going to do things A, B, and C, and I think that hobby has been a really important like skill that I was able to transfer in regards to like my current career. So yeah.
Okay. So my next question: what has your experience been like navigating the world as a neurodivergent person, and what unique perspectives or challenges have shaped your journey?
That's a big one.
We can break it down.
All right.
If you want. So first, what's your experience been like as a neurodivergent?
I mean, I think the best way I can summarize is like, it is what it is. Like, cool, I know that I think differently or I act differently to other people, right? And sometimes we call it when I meet someone for the first time or someone new, like sometimes they may not get it, but ultimately, right, I think people are going to say what they want to say, but I think you just have to strive to do the best that you can. And I think we call it in regards to my experience with like having what's the term?
Neurodivergent. These are quite new terms.
Neurodivergence. Yeah. I don't know. Like for example, university was pretty blessed. Secondary school. Yeah, pretty blessed. Likewise, sixth one pretty blessed. Like I think I'll be honest with you, it was like my last job where pretty much the support there was like abysmal. Like it was absolutely catastrophic. Like it was just not good.
Do you think like more needs to be done for people that have certain, I wouldn't say limitations, but neurodivergent? I don't even know the right term to use. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it will help a lot of people, especially for those who probably have it, but they're not like diagnosed, because
yeah, I could understand. I got diagnosed with dyslexia last year.
Oh, really?
I didn't know all this time.
Oh.
Only a year ago, you know. So I'm dyslexic, but I don't find it okay. Maybe because I dealt with it so long and I coped with it so long, I didn't see it as a problem of what I couldn't. So I needed extra time in my exams.
Yep.
I didn't have that throughout my school days. I only got it kind of when I was in college, but I had coursework. So I didn't have any exams to do apart from my maths exam, but I kept on not doing it properly. But like I said, they didn't know I had dyslexia. So like my study style is I have no sort of study style because I find it hard to study. But I feel like as well, because it's quite new, it's not a quite new learning disability always. It's not, these disabilities or learning disabilities are not new, but it's new in a sense whereby a lot of employers are trying to accommodate. So was there a chance where you could feed this back to the company, like what needs to be done?
With regards to like my former company?
Your former company, yeah.
At that time, I wanted to keep like that to myself. It's because obviously it's quite personal, and when I didn't mention it, I don't think it made a difference. I think I'll argue it probably made things a lot worse.
Oh. Yeah, because you know what, yeah, you wouldn't think that some companies would behave that way.
I mean, I'm trying to keep things like very professional, but like my former company, they're very bureaucratic. They took small inconveniences and made it into like a whole talk. Like there's evidences of like gaslighting like team members, as well as dismissals. Like it was just not a very healthy environment, and I'm not trying. And obviously, that's my experience with the company I had. They're a very large company. I'll call them like what's the word? Like the ASDA, or like the leaders of like the scientific world. So So everyone ask any scientists, like I guarantee you'll find like the piece of equipment or like the stuff. And so I don't know, for a large corporation, like they have this behavior was kind of like frankly disgusting. But moving forward from that, with the new company I have, like they're very, like I said, I already told them beforehand, so they're very much aware, and like tying back into the apprenticeship, right? They're likewise they're very aware in regards to like my needs, and if I need any support, I'm able to reach out to them. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I also went for apprenticeship, because like I said, it's a fresh start, no baggage, and likewise I'm able to like start get a sense and actually get the support I need in order to make the necessary strides.
Okay, that's very good. So from that challenge, what have you learned from it, and what has that shaped you in, if you ever have that situation again in your career, or has that shaped how you would deal with it?
In regards to like the treatment that I had.
Yeah, just your experience overall of being neurodivergent.
Well, firstly, listen to my gut reactions, because pretty much my second job, it was like in Oxford. It was in Oxford, and immediately away, this actually reminds me of another story. So my first job, it was in Milton Keynes.
Mm-hmm.
And then after we got made redundant, worked in a warehouse for a bit, then went to Oxford. Literally, as soon as I got on site for my induction, I should say, within my second day, I just came to the conclusion that, this is not for me. I'm finding a new job straight.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to quickly assess, okay, this job is not for me. Let me stay for it as long as I can whilst I job hunt, and it paid off. The third job I had, which was my former one, I didn't do that, and there was clearly like red flags that were going off my head, and I thought, because the role was closer towards London, right? It was in Basingstoke. I thought, let me try Firmet, but it was just a bad idea because I wasn't right. It just went downhill after that. So moving forward, just listening to my red flags, try to have more open communications, like with my manager, or like in this case the apprenticeship provider, and just sort out the qualms that I have. I guess you could say, like, how can I talk to them? How can they accommodate my needs, or how can they push me in the right direction? Because my last company wasn't doing that. Like they would make ideas that throughout, but because of corporate bureaucracy or security risk, that the ideas couldn't get implemented. And so ultimately, right, I felt like in that last company was it was a painful experience, but I think it was necessary for me to go through.
Okay. So essentially, you're basically saying, in a nutshell, just summarize, that if you feel like something isn't for you,
yep,
you should just assess it and just leave. Don't stay in a role that makes you miserable.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I would say that to anyone as well. I would do the same thing. But if you're going to do that, get another job. Get that other job in the bag. But if you don't want anything, then take a break. Take the break. So my next question is, can you share your experience working with your... Oh, well, you've already done that. You already asked the second question. I asked this question. What advice would you give someone who is looking to switch careers?
Okay, so I think if you're looking to switch careers, I think the first thing you want to do is like identify, okay, why do you want to switch? Like there's no point of you switching careers if you don't like have like an initial course. So for me, the reason why I want to switch, because I like data analysis. I find that like I geek over that stuff. Like I can sit on my laptop for like hours and literally just do a lot of like computational work. And that's my personal reason. And then obviously if you like the salary that comes with it, and salary comes with it, because data analysts get paid really high, that's something you should also look into. So just find out the reason why. Next, try to figure out like the resource you want to go through. So in this case, I would have a scientific degree, and a data analyst, you don't necessarily need to go get a degree, which I think, which is one of the reasons why I went through the apprenticeship route, because it just removes the overhead of like either going through getting a postgraduate degree, and I don't know, like to get the same information that I'm able to get for free on the internet or at a very low cost. Like it was like night and day. So that's why I went for. And then in this case, if you're able to find like the resources or able to find courses that are able to accommodate your career path, then do some research and then complete the courses. And then from there, in the context of like technology, like demonstrate some of like the skills you learn through like projects. Like I have a GitHub account, which is like it's not like a social media platform, but like it's basically where developers, data analysts can post like their code or their projects. And what I used that in order to like push my projects, but also link that back to my CV. I show that there's different skill sets that I'm able to highlight that attribute the needs of the business. And from there, literally just with every application that I've sent out, with the almost 700 plus applications, I always try to like refine the application process. So in this case, look at my CV, see what skills I want to point out, and likewise, just be persistent. Don't forget, like what are you trying to achieve? Of course, I'm speaking from a person who went from science to tech, but I think the same principle applies to like any career path. So if you want to go from, I don't know, like law into business, you probably want to like find examples that highlight your case, and then if you don't have, let's say, like projects per se, you use like the current jobs you have right now and find examples that you're able to try link it to the career you're trying to go for. So, for example, if you're a lawyer trying to go into like business, find examples where within your law profession that a business case was applied, and able to highlight that through like the roles and responsibilities in your CV. Similarly, when I was a scientist, I use examples like me using Excel, creating formulations, creating like statistical metrics. And that's something that is using data analytics quite a lot. So able to find like transferable skills and relatable skills from your former sector and the sector you're trying to go into.
Okay. So what does career progression look like in your role? Like, for example, I'll explain it a bit better.
My role, or like
so you do data analytics. What's the next step? What are the roles? Is it head of data analytics? Is it software engineering? What are the roles that you want to go into after?
Oh, okay. So if you're talking about like my personal ones, so I want to try get into like data science, because I think data science is quite interesting. Of course, there's also data engineer as well, where pretty much you just create like pipelines from point A to point B, and that helps the business take the data that's pretty much raw and unprocessed and makes it usable. There's also data consultancy, which is something that not been on my radar, but it does sound interesting. Like basically advise businesses on like how you would take advantage of like the metrics that you have. So, but yeah, to answer your questions, I think like data science or maybe like data consultancy. And in terms of like the industry that maybe I want to go in the future, maybe like fintech.
Okay.
Fintech. I think in the context of the UK, like there's so many fintech companies. So I think it's pretty much like a no-brainer. And I think fintech is quite dynamic. And I think because of like companies like, for example, like Revolut and Monzo, right? Like because of what they did, right? The big banks are able to like implement like their advancements and make their user experience a lot much better. So yeah,
I've actually looked at that because it's actually so crazy. I had again, I like a bit of finance.
Okay.
I do a banking law module, and I had an interview. Hopefully I got the job, but actually it wasn't even an interview. I had a task and it leads up to an interview, but I hope that I get that. And the task was, has technology made cash redundant, and something about banks, the closure of banks. And then that's when I had to look into like the fact that online banking has made traditional banks try to keep up. And because of them trying to keep up with Monzo, with the Revolut, it has done good to keep traditional banks modern, but at the same time they've closed down branches.
Yeah.
So it's like the whole reason why a lot of people haven't gone to these online banks like Monzo and Revolut is because they want to be able to go into branch if something goes wrong with their account and they can't get through to you on the phone.
Yeah.
So look at what happened with Barclays when they had the whole crash. And people were taking out money.
The same thing happened in the United States as
Yeah,
well.
I said that to someone.
Chase Bank.
I said, someone's like, yeah, I'm going to take out money. I said, are you all right? Didn't you see what happened with Chase? They charged back. Did you really think they're not going to come and get their money? You see, one thing about like HMRC and banks, if you do something dodgy, they will come for
the
you.
Worst in TFL,
they will you see TFL. You can fight that. But you see HMRC and bank,
long.
You're gone. If you done something if you offended the bank 6 years ago and you are now 6 years later, you're a different person, they will catch you from 6 years ago and you don't even have the receipts. They will have their receipts. They watch you. But it's crazy because I think they are data analytics and all that. Data is changing, technology is changing, and how we process when we look at data is different.
Yeah.
It's completely. I did data protection module at law in my degree as well.
Oh, okay. Funny enough, I did in my apprenticeship. I had to do that as well. So the data governance and data protection. So the stuff that I actually didn't know that now going into the workplace, like I think it's quite important. And even this interview right now, obviously, like for my protection, like some things you can't say, and like what it just makes you look more aware, I guess you could say.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't understand about the data. I previously mentioned, especially like us leaving the EU.
Oh yes.
We took our data protection from the EU basically. So now we're by ourselves.
Yeah, but it's based on that. I think it's I don't want to get it wrong. It's like the UK Data Protection Act of 20 something.
Yeah. But it's not. So I'm still learning. But from my understanding, and I may be wrong, but from my understanding is a lot of these, like, we have laws, but we don't have laws for the new things that are coming along with like tech with AI. We don't have. It's coming, but AI and all of these things are just rapidly moving. And I remember because of children are under a certain age, they had to like look at how their data about children. And you would never think, they would have never thought to have legislation to protect children because children's human right to privacy. But a lot of things that they're going on, so for example, YouTube, how is YouTube processing these kids' data? Because they're minor kids. So all of these things, they've been brought up in my class, are things that I never thought of. Like when you're accepting cookies, do you know what you're actually accepting?
At the time, no, probably still not.
Still not to this day. Ironic. And they sell your data as well. To third parties.
Which is why, when I keep bringing up the fact that I applied for like 700 jobs, someone said in my group chats, I know for a fact that your data gets sold.
I know, definitely. Oh my gosh, do you know what? There was one year, and I got job fished.
Wait.
Do you know? I got job fished. Hi.
Job fished.
Do you know what that is? Have you heard of job fishing?
No.
I didn't hear about job fishing. Yeah, is when people post, like, I don't know the definition, so you're gonna have to Google it. But job fishing is when someone makes a fake job. Yeah. So basically, what happened was I did what you did. I did easy apply.
Oh my gosh.
And obviously, I was just putting my CV was everywhere. CV library, my number was attached everywhere. It was everywhere. Obviously, now they've come to me and they're like to me, oh, like, yeah, we got this legal exact role, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. And this is what happens when you apply for so many jobs, you forget.
Yep.
So I have now when I apply for roles, I have the CV I applied for, the cover letter, and any questions I've asked. So when they call me up, I'm prepared for what I said. And I also look over my cover letter and stuff before I go to my interview. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, yeah, I think I applied for this job. I did not apply for this role. Just put it out there. So the woman was like, oh, like, yeah, we work for ABC company, whatever. She's like, okay, she asked me a few questions, gave her a bit of background. She's hyping up, yeah. So I'm going to pass it over to the hiring manager. You seem like an ideal candidate, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, yes, I can leave the job that I'm at right now. I'm happy. So she says to me, research the company. So I researched the company and I went on Trustpilot.
Oh no.
All I see is it's a scam. They're going to do this, X, Y, Z, and the other. She came back and did X, Y, Z, and the other. And they asked for me to pay. Now, you can pay for work experience.
Wait, hold on.
No. If you're doing it abroad.
Oh, okay.
The abroad work experience thing. There was a company that I found, but my uni advertised it, so therefore I know it's legit. So whenever you see these things, I always Google the company, understand that the company is real, understand this opportunity is real, and read Trustpilot reviews. Yep. If you don't see a review or it's not a recognizable company, you got to do your due diligence so that you don't get, finessed.
Yeah.
I found out. So basically what it is, they hype you up. And then if they say to you, oh, you have to accept in that, you have to pay us in 24 hours or something like that.
Yep.
It's usually Is usually a red flag.
Yep. I literally had that. I literally had that before I went to Ghana, and then after I came back from Ghana, because I wanted to get like a fintech or fintech and finance, right? And then they start saying, oh, I have to pay for a. I think it is legit. The certification to refer to is legit, but like the company and the record of it is like sketchy. So I'm like, nah.
I only go to like recognized companies like BPP. I would do it with. The actual examining body of the place, I will do it with. ACCA, I will do it with them.
Yep.
I would do who else? Or I'll just go to a university and do it. I will be very, very, very diligent. Not every opportunity is for you, and make it outweigh when you look at a job. Like, I remember there was a job that I wanted to do, and it's like, it was a job where you have to work all hours of all hours. It's like a 24/7 sort of job. And I told my friend about it, and she was like, for the pay that you're getting and the amount of hours you're going to be doing and the work it's not worth it. Know your worth. Yes, you want the experience. Yes, you want all of these things, but know your worth when you go into something. I do believe sometimes you should sacrifice a bit if you need to get. If you need to get the experience, I did 2 unpaid internships. I had to pay a lot on train tickets.
Ooh.
But it was from a legit. I was working in a council,
okay,
so it was legit. It wasn't like I was working for a big corporation that were taking the mickey out of me. I got a lot of valuable insights, things that I didn't know, that when it's an election season, like when they have elections, councils, so like certain departments, so maybe legal, the finance department, because those are the 2 departments I worked in, they strategically plan for these. They read the manifestos and think, what will affect our council? What would this do? Law? I never knew they do that. I didn't know. So I feel like we learn new things. What's something in data analytics that you thought this was the job and you find out that it's completely different? Like, for example, people have the view that all hackers are people that sit there and steal your money, but in reality they break through things that they need to get, like they help the police if they need to break through someone's phone, etc. What is something that someone has thought, but what's something that you thought data analytics would be that is completely not? It's completely different.
I think the fact that at the time, data analytics, but in my head, I thought, okay, data analytics, we were using like the newest programming language or the fanciest database or the best business visualizer. Or to find out that more time I'm going to be dealing with like Excel spreadsheets and just help companies like making sense of like the spreadsheets upon spreadsheets to like it actually makes sense. And I mean, obviously, like we do use like I could just say like the more robust stuff such as Power BI or like Python or even like databases, but like most of the time, like if you're a data analyst, you got to be initially dealing with like like with special spreadsheets or CSV files, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like, you won't be thrown into the deep end, which like that's a good thing. But at the same time, it's like that's good to be looking on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, that's what I say about that.
And then my other question is, wasn't it? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's a very good question. Where I see myself in 5 years? Well, ideally, I want to finish my apprenticeship, then move on to like a full-time role, and then from there, try to get myself into like data science, maybe in fintech, and whether I'll be debating whether I'll be in the UK or not.
Everyone wants to leave the UK. I want to leave the UK. Where do you want to go to?
There's a couple of places, but like, I think the first location in my head is the USA, Texas more specifically. Like a lot of companies have moved their low cost of living. You can actually buy a house, like an actual proper house.
Not like the UK's house.
Like what? I've seen like a 7-bed for like what? The equivalent of like £300,000.
Okay. Oh, okay.
7-bed. Like you won't get that in London.
No.
You get 2-bedroom detached.
Not even that. What can you get in London? And then where's the second place you would move to?
I think maybe, I don't know, I'm putting just out there, maybe like the Netherlands.
Netherlands. Oh, Dutch.
Yeah.
Dutch. I was learning Dutch for a while.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't go nowhere. But I was really good. Really good at it. So how long is your apprenticeship and what qualification do you get from your apprenticeship?
So in terms of like how long my apprenticeship is, I think it's up until next year. So pretty much the next following year. So 2026. And from that, I get a level 4 qualification, and it's graded on pass, merit, and distinction.
Mm-hmm.
So similar to if you were doing, for example, like masters, like in terms of that grade scale.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in regards to like apprenticeship levels, so if you have level 4, level 5, level 6/7, level 6/7 is like an undergrad, but in the final year.
Mm-hmm.
Level 5 is like in the second year, and then level 4 is like the first year of the undergrad. So that's how it was described to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the qualification I'll be coming with. So it'll be pretty much like an undergraduate degree, essentially, what I'm rolling with.
So how many years was that until? Was it 2 or 3 years? Or?
Oh, as in my apprenticeship? Or
yeah. How long is the apprenticeship? Is it 2 or 3 years?
It's, if I remember right, it's like 14 months. It was supposed to be like 18 months, but because my previous experience, I chopped that down quite a bit.
So you kind of so do you have exams to do, don't you?
No, coursework.
Oh, it's coursework.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the way it works is that with the apprenticeship provider and the employer, pretty much they build like a project that shows off your skills. So in this case, the project we'll have to build is pretty much like a dashboard, and I've been doing dashboards before I even got the job. But it shows different criteria that when it gets put together into the portfolio and the portfolio presentation, and that's what they're going to be like asking you stuff on. So, for example, if you made like a dashboard or like a report, they want you. I'm guessing. My guess is that they want you to describe like what you did, like the features that you did, and like the process of like, oh, how did I build this report up? And so that's what you have to do. You have to like evidence like what you did. So if you did like a dissertation at university, like pretty much like that. So you have to like constantly evidence your way through.
Oh, do you find that much easier to do, especially like you're working? Oh, do you do any study notes? You're just working and just doing the coursework?
No, you have to study. Like with apprenticeships, where you get like, depending on the employer, and this is something that you talk with your employer about, is that, you can have like an entire day, like just do your apprenticeship, or like half a day, or like depending on what works with you. And so, through that you do your studying or your coursework, and if you have any like downtime, so for example, because because in my current work right now, there's not a lot on my plate. I have downtime because I could do some of my apprenticeship as well. So it all fits together like nicely, I guess you could say. And that's, again, going back to the point why I chose apprenticeship, because I could do stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, that's very like different, because a lot of people that I have that are doing apprenticeships, they have exams, they got to study. So there's apprenticeships out there for people that don't like exams, like me, that can just do some coursework.
Should I name drop the provider?
Yeah.
QA.
Okay, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, I think they're like, I want to say like they're one of the largest, but don't quote me on that. But like, that's how I applied through them.
Okay, so you mentioned you're on TikTok. What made you want to go on TikTok? Where'd you go? Okay, there's a story. I feel like there's a story coming.
Pretty much, I always wanted like, initially I wanted to do like demonstrate like my progress of like trying to get into like technology. But then I don't know what happened. I think the first TikTok I made pretty much blew up on my account. It was like a new account, well, an old account, but I converted it. It basically explained to me why I am leaving science for technology, and basically outlines pretty much the conversation we have right here. And yeah, I was just literally just uploading that stuff, just to keep my mind going during the time, and likewise distract me from like a lot of personal things that are going along in my life at the time. But I think it paid off, and then combined that with like my other passion, gym, I thought let me create like a niche. So technology and gym. I tried to do that on IG as well. It's Instagram. It got converted to like a gym page, like based on like my frequency. But the TikTok page, yeah, I'm still active, just to show people like, look, I got here. I've tried to document the best I can. I tried to like advise people, like recently I was helping this girl who did a master's in like big data engineering or something like that. And pretty much I was like helping her like working through like her CV, get through like the application stuff. So I want to like
help people.
Yeah, because I know the feeling when like, cool, there's no one that got your back, and you're literally just stressing like your eyes out thinking, what am I doing wrong? And it's not a nice feeling. So if there was like support, I would appreciate it if I got support.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think everyone would say that. So before we finish, what's one thing you want people to take from this?
I think the one thing I want people to take away from this is that don't let your dreams die, and just keep persevering.
And we will be adding your TikTok on here. So if you have any questions, I mean, feel free to message him.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming, and I hope you enjoy your cupcakes.
I will definitely.
Make sure you share,
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm taking snaps, social promo, everything.
No, I mean, make sure you go home and share it at home. Don't eat it to yourself.
Oh no, well.
Oh, but also shout out Ren Bakes on Instagram. But yeah, thank you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Any questions, please let me know. Put in the comment section. Please like and subscribe, and thank you.